Fires. Jund, for those newer to Magic, refers to the 3-color combination of red, black, and green. Fires refers to our namesake card here, Fires of Invention. Can cast only spells on your turn and no more than 2 spells, but you don't have to pay the mana cost for them, which is kind of sweet if you have lands equal to or less than their converted mana cost. There have been a variety of Cavalier Fires decks in Standard. Jeskai Fires with blue and red Cavaliers have been successful, so you can play this Cavalier and then activate it the turn you play it with Fires because you didn't need mana to do so. Samian, thank you for the 15 months. Welcome back. And Vishindo, thanks for the brand new Prime support. Appreciate you shipping your base of bucks this way this month and keeping me employed. So, goal here is pretty straightforward. I want to play Fires on 4 and then have 2 good 5 drops. We've got a couple of Ox up here at the top end. Is another way to draw cards past our Cavalier frames. Darth Rock! Welcome, welcome, welcome. Also going on in this deck, we got a couple of copies of Polukranos Unchained as another good escape card here. Cavalier of Thorns is something that we've mentioned with Uro a number of times. It's probably the best escape enabler in this set. It's doing something you want to be doing, and then it fills your graveyard up to make escaping cards back better. We're also playing a few copies of Binding of the Titans down here at the bottom end, which can help us find our key creature cards more consistently, while also filling the graveyard up for us to enable our escape a little bit. Let's go ahead and dive on into some match with this one and see how it goes. Yeah, Pioneer submissions are great too, Zombie. They all the formats use the same form on my site. There's a spot inside where you can mark down what format they're for. Yeah, this looks fine. It's kind of a fair Jund mid-range hand. You can cast all of our spells. Well, can't cast Cavalier yet, but can cast the bottom 3. Hopefully we run off a Fires or some green sources here. That was a phenomenal draw. Show me your secrets. I don't want to know your secrets. Take them back. Take them back. Stop it. Please, no. No, please go away. Don't do it. Well, it's probably just the draw 3, right? Although Dance is kind of absurd here too. I mean, like, whatever I take, Dance just gets it back, right? I think I'm just supposed to take Dance. Alternatively, I figured out the Galaxy Brain play. I might concede the match. I think this, the Doom Foretold matchup is, like, basically impossible for Fires. Like, even good Jeskai Fires is tough for this deck. Yeah, you're right. Remorse does exile. I think we're still dead there regardless. I'm aware. I think we still can't win the game. I think regardless of which of their things we take, we lose. The matchup is basically impossible. I had 3 dead cards in my hand. Bonecrusher Giant and double Murderous Rider don't do anything. They have a draw 3. They have another card that 3-for-1s me in a different direction. You are correct. I misspoke when I said they'd get it back. However, we still can't win. Our opponent's rank 32, so I assume they're going to be playing Breeding Pool. This hand's pretty good, though. Give it a go. Esper Dance is actually towards the top of the deck queue. We're going to be getting on that one tomorrow, I believe. Ooh, that's exciting. They're aggroing their way up the ladder. You'll love to see it. Is there a child at my door? There's a wife at my door. Hold on, chat. She's important.
You know, somebody set a trap for you?
They did set a trap for me. You're not wrong. Would you believe that, chat? My 4- and 5-year-old booby-trapped the hallway outside my office. I guess this is a real decision. Do we stomp here, or was I supposed to just play a tapped land? I think I'm probably supposed to Bonecrusher this, because if they have like a Chandra or something, they could start generating card advantage, which isn't stellar for me.
Can you ask chat if I could have you back?
Second time through, I'm just going to go ahead and pass. Sure. One thing that's worth noting here is that this Wrath is kind of a non-bow with Polukranos. It's very possible that this should just be Ritual of Soot, because if you hit Polukranos with Storm's Wrath here, it gets smaller. It loses 1/1 counters equal to the damage it takes, which is super relevant. It's an awkward one to have after we sweep. So we get to Poly K here, and then Poly K gets to fight Midnight Reaper, which is great. This is a great card to have off of Fires. Got another activated ability as well. Yeah, I don't know, Zach. I feel like a lot of the Walker, like the matchups that have Walkers that Storm's Wrath kills, like, aren't Walkers that die to Storm's Wrath, right? Because, like, the matches where you want that sweeper, they're playing, like, Nissas, right? Interesting that they sacked this to food. Would have thought they would have wanted the fight to happen, so that way this would have gotten smaller. This escapes for 6, and Cavalier puts 4 cards in the bin, so that's great. Yeah, the fact that they elected to let my Polukranos stay big means I have a lot more closing power here. They could also just have, like, Murderous Rider here, though, so maybe that's why they left it big. Yeah, I think our opponent stumbled long enough that they're not going to be competitive here. This is like kind of the first match with Jund. I might have conceded the very first because they were playing a deck we could never beat. Alright, so all the spot removal seems good. Wellborn Moose. Thanks for doling out a pile of sub-gifties. Happy Sunday to you. Hope you're having a wonderful weekend. Welcome to our newest members of Hooglandia. I think Agonizing Remorse is probably a card to pull. We want more cards that play to the board to match up like this, as opposed to being reactive or taking cards out of their hand they haven't spent mana on yet. Any advice I want to spend wild cards on? I mean, if you're itching for things, tapped lands are always a great idea. The dual lands, you'll get your use out of those over the course of playing Standard. If you have a shortage of wild cards in general, though, wait and see is definitely the best advice. I think I kind of want to tram some of my top ends here. This might be a little bit slow as well. Trophy's probably fine here. Brontodon might also be okay. Murderous Rider might not be all that good here. This card's kind of... The adventure creatures in general are kind of awkward in the face of Oven. Yeah, let's do this. We'll bring in a couple of Brontodons. We'll bring in leave the last Ox in. Seems fine. So Oven makes Bonecrusher Giant real awkward. Fossum X, thanks for the brand new Prime support. Welcome, welcome. Lava Coil's upside is also kind of negated by the fact that the Oven is there. I could just save my removal spells because I have Storm's Wrath, but again, I think I just take this out so they can't threaten to generate card advantage with it. Oh, this is a small sequencing mistake on my part. I should wait till their turn to stomp them, because then they'd have to use the Oven on their turn. So like if they play Midnight Reaper here, I could have denied them a food, basically. Alright, I think, again, because I have Storm's Wrath here, I'm just going to go ahead and pass rather than Lava Coil, and then the plan will be Fires on 4 plus Storm's Wrath. And then they're almost out of resources here, and with Polyk in hand, we're going to be set up to get closing relatively quickly. So they've got one card left. They're going to get to sacrifice these and deal, what, 3 to us? We'll go down to 12, but they're basically out of resources. That's a good suggestion, too. I've been live for almost 9 hours today. And I was live for like 10 hours yesterday as well. And it can be tough to keep up with absolutely everything I stream, but every single day I tag somewhere between 1 and 3 decks, depending on how they performed as my favorite decks. So you can kind of pick out some of the best to watch from my content. Yeah, I always like to do longer days around release time. Always have much better numbers then. When the excitement is highest for Magic in general. Any card game, right? Like set release, Hearthstone, Magic, whatever it is. Always highest when a set comes out. And things are new and exciting, and you're in that honeymoon, anything can happen in standard period. Okay, well, they're on Stone Cold Nothing here. That's incredibly annoying. Does it make sense to fight this? I think it does. I can technically pay enough mana that it can't block me, right? And actually here, because they ovened here, we could maybe force their hand. So I can trophy this oven, and if they bring the cap back and bake it again in response here, I can no, they could leave it in their graveyard. Did we ever escape into the 12-12? Yeah, at least once. I don't remember if it was more than once, but we definitely had a Polukranos that escaped at least one point. So there's upside to playing this Fires out in the event that they draw like a Revoke Existence and could exile my first one, but there's also upside to holding the Fires in my hand in the event that I draw a red Cavalier. So before this thing can block, Polukranos would like to get in a fight with it. Stream Decker is the deck overlay tool. So the mouse over tool is currently lacking the latest set's worth of cards, but Stream Decker is functional on mobile as far as I'm aware. Weird that they're bringing this back now. Do they draw something that rewards them for doing that? I can fetch and fight this at end of turn now. Sure, I guess. We've got 3 cards in here. This is 4. This is 5. This takes 6 to escape. Doesn't really matter what color I get here. I'm going to have this fight the cat at end of turn. Again, going to hold this land in my hand, because playing a 7th land doesn't really do anything meaningful for me, and I could draw red Cavalier, which would reward me for having an extra card in my hand. Well, you know. So we're dead in. We're dead in like 3 here. Hey, Gracie L, thanks for the 7 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Weird that they didn't bring that back on my turn. I guess they didn't want to lose it to a removal spell. That makes sense, I suppose. Even if it slows their clock down pretty significantly. Okay. This one's 27 lands, Pythron. Now, talking about the benefit to holding these lands versus not, the upside is if we draw a Cavalier. However, one of the downsides to holding these lands, and I have 2 black castles in my deck, so if I draw a black castle, having held onto these lands actually costs me hit points, which is a big deal. But I'm also low enough that I probably can't afford to activate the castle anyway, so I think I hold on to them for red Cavalier. Always a day late and a dollar short, huh, chat? Always a day late and a dollar short. I think I'm happy with how I boarded here. I'm gonna go ahead and run it back. Yeah, I'm gonna put the Riders in over the Legion's Ends. Legion's End's kind of medium against Oven anyways. And Rider can gain us some life and be a threat. Ox is a reason to play Outro lands. Not really. So you could argue that Ox is a reason to keep lands in my hand, also Tumos, because the lands in play don't do anything, and the Ox discarding the lands gives me more fodder to escape the Ox back should it die after I play it. That one's a little bit more nuanced than Ox says you should play your lands. Like, with Fires out, my deck doesn't do anything meaningful with more than 6 lands. Like, if I get to 8 or 9, I could double activate or triple activate, I guess, but... Can I keep this on the play? I'm gonna keep this on the play. Let's draw a land and a Fires or a red source by 4, huh? I think I'd snap mulligan this on the draw because it's just too slow. But on the play, I think their deck maybe isn't quite aggressive enough to punish us for keeping this. Hey, what's going on, Sunshine? Not the red source I wanted for Christmas, but I'll do it in a pinch. I think I'm in for that. Second red source, 5th guaranteed land. Well, that's when I started, was 9 this morning. This is a really good start for a slow hand. I think I keep that as just a removal spell here. We'll see how many removal spells they have this game. We've got things they need to kill every turn for the next 2 to 3 turns now. And then we've got Ox to gas back up at the end of it all. What submissions have piqued my interest the most so far? You can always find all of my favorite decks that I've played each day on my website here. As for ones today that we've played that were good, we played a Sultai Vanafear deck today that was just chef's kiss. It's very, very good. We'll probably be playing it again tomorrow. Definitely one of those, I don't know if it's good, but certainly great decks. Is there a Vanafear list in Pioneer? There are some fringe decks that people have played, but nothing that's really what I would refer to as an established archetype in that format. Their start looking quite embarrassing here against us. I don't think you should be playing Duress in your black decks anymore. I think Drill Bit was better last season, and if you can't consistently enable Drill Bit, you should just be playing Agonizing Demise now. There's just too many adventure creatures in these control decks to justify playing Duress. You can't afford for your discard spells to be missing like this. Yeah, that's also true. Being able to exile as opposed to discarding is also super relevant. Yeah, I think my opponent probably should have mulliganed their hand this game. They're definitely the beatdown in this matchup, and they've just given us a ton of time to get set up here. Decided which day you're doing Modern. Pretty sure Modern's going to be Wednesday. Thursday? Maybe Thursday? I actually don't know. I'm not doing my schedule until tonight. It's like, once I'm offline, I'll be doing my schedule. Alright, so we stomp this, kill Sorin, play Ox, gas up. Yeah, I kind of agree, Pseudo Panda. I think there might genuinely be something to that Vanafear deck. It might genuinely be good, not just like sweet plus good. Gotta grab life by the horns, chat. Look at that. Got another bull here. Let's go. Let's go. Does that go for Pioneer as well with Duress? Pioneer's a little bit different because you get to play Thoughtseize in Pioneer. However, the Abzan deck we played this morning, I did elect to play Agonizing Demise in the sideboard as discard spells 5 and 6 as opposed to Duress. I think Agonizing Demise is very reasonable in that format as well. Alright, whatever the discard spell is, if I'm saying the wrong card, it's Agonizing something, right? Whatever the new 2-mana discard spell is that starts with Agonizing. I could have stomped Sorin. Oh, yeah, and then kept my Bonecrusher? Yeah, that's a good call. I guess they don't guaranteed block if I do that, though. Agonizing Remorse. There you go. I don't know. I don't know what these cards are called. Hey, the bot has new cards in it. Yay, the bot got updated. Boop, boop. Too many mythics and not enough rares. If you wanted my pick for a safe deck to craft, my pick would be the white aggro deck. I think the white aggro deck with Helion in it that we played, I'd be very surprised if some iteration of that is not competitive somewhere in this format. Felt pretty good. Pause. Do I... Black Devotion 2, some iteration of Black Devotion is probably going to be good. Would I rather this be Ritual of Soot? I feel like I'd rather that be Ritual of Soot. Green ramp, Black Devotion... Green ramp, Black Devotion, and Green ramp, Black Devotion, and the white aggro would be my three recommendations for decks that are competitive right now. Looking at this deck, I'm not sure I like these removal spells. I think I want a couple of Disfigures for the Knights matchup. What's a removal spell we can play that kills Rotting Regisaur? Is there a good Doomblade that kills Rotting Regisaur? Epic Downfall. Is that one good enough? Can I bring this in against aggro in good conscience? Does this kill enough stuff against knights? I want something to kill that in the Rotting Regisaurs. I consider myself a professional entertainer. I think the thing that sets me apart as the distinction from other people is my ability... Oh, trophy, duh. Just more trophy. I already have trophies in here. I'm gonna play a third trophy and a third Disfigure. That's better. That's the correct answer. More trophy. Like, I already had trophy sitting in there. Thank you, chat. It's been a long day. Thank you. I consider myself an entertainer. I think a large part of why I've had success where others have failed, in addition to being fortunate in the right ways, that the ways in which I'm good at my job are largely entertaining. Sure. Yeah, I guess it's a little awkward. I have to choose between black or red. Silly basic forest. Yes, when people ask me what I do, I frequently describe myself as someone who does live streaming on the internet, who takes money from people to do the things that they request, and my audience is predominantly men between the ages of 25 and 34. And I like to describe myself in that manner because that description could be in no way construed or mistaken in any way, shape, or form. That was an excellent draw. Treacherous Blessing. Oh yeah, total audience, we hit the whole range, male, female, non-binary, young, old, etc. But the bulk of my audience is between 25 and 34. I think that's probably accurate. Get off my lawn. Treacherous Blessing is kind of hot in their deck. Eat this with Vraska. What do I want to do here? Is it just Korvald? I guess I could take Korvald later, so I need to decide what 2 cards I'm taking here, basically, right? I think it's Blessing, and then Korvald just take their card advantage. Like Beyonce, you go to the left on the important issues. Huh? I think I keep that. I need a 5th land still, but I think that's keepable. Influencer, huckster, or shill as your descriptor during downtime segment. Definitely shill. 10 out of 10, shill is accurate. All right, so if we draw a 5th land next turn, we get to go Soot your fam, play my Cavalier. The word influencer makes you feel old. To be fair, like, most generations have had what you could describe as influencers. The big thing that's different with influencers today, I feel, is that a lot of us exist on a much smaller scale than you once would. Like, if you think about it, like, someone like Paris Hilton, for instance, would probably be described as an influencer, when was that, like, early to mid 2000s, or was she even before that? Like, a lot of those type of, like, reality TV show type people would fall into that category, I feel. That's true too, Lobin. I think my play-by-play tends to be good. I actually think part of the reason why I'm good at play-by-play is because I don't stream with music. Because not streaming with music means I have to be talking constantly, otherwise there's just downtime. Dead air is not good. That's true. It's been rebranded in a way that's a little bit different. Cat's pretty annoying here. Can't attack now and we take damage every turn. Second Cavalier is not a terrible draw for when we eventually draw a 5th land in our 27 land deck. If we hit our 5th land in like the next 2 turns, we're probably going to be okay. Does my throat get sore from all the stream talking? Only when I'm a little bit sick. So like right now, my entire family has a cold, so I'm a little bit sore right now, mostly because I'm sick. But when I'm talking all day, I speak from my diaphragm. I have a small amount of training from high school and undergrad doing community theater type stuff, where you became used to doing projecting and speaking on the regular. You think we're dead here? We needed them to brick a little bit, and we needed to draw a land, and neither of those things happened. Maybe if we hit a land next turn, we could go from here. But I think even if we hit the land next turn now, we're probably too far gone at this point. Yeah, that's our difference from normal streams. We're minus music plus politics. Think that's too little too late. Right, escape is an alternative cost and it still uses lands. Yeah, we're just into the score vault. I know we have reach and we can block, but we just can't get through. They drew too many cards, they have too many resources now. Trophy sounds great. Bonecrusher Giant's pretty medium here. Ritual of Soot seems fine. Is Brontodon good enough here? I'm not sure if that's good enough here. I feel like it's probably not. Just gonna try and kill them through their stuff rather than trying to interact with them. That's true too. Even my cell phone these days can watch Twitch and play Pandora at the same time. Feels bad, man. Grab a forest here. Welcome to Hoaglandia, Urfunk. Our community's great. What is Pandora? Pandora is what people who are afraid of change use to listen to music streaming in the year 2020. It's what the kids used before Spotify happened. Yeah, it's exactly correct. You answered your own question. Yeah, the actual answer to why I use Pandora still is because it's a very nerdy reason, believe it or not. And other services might do this at one point, but once upon a time, Pandora was one of the first to have an API to let you access their streaming service using Python scripts. So I had some custom tools I wrote to listen to my Pandora stations. Sick. Fifth lands are great, chat. Yeah, I'm gonna bottom that. I think I just want more threats. I'm winning this race, right? Right? They're dead in 3, I'm dead in 4. Winning this race, he said, against the food deck. I guess maybe I should have Agonizing Remorse. Maybe I should have Agonizing Remorse the cat. I didn't Fires into Rituals the previous turn because they had a Thrashing Brontodon in play. Yeah, I could have exiled the cat. The problem was it, cost me a life. We gave it a college best here, but probably dead. I guess this could mill me into an escape card. If we hit the Ox, maybe we could be okay here. I don't have enough cards for that anyways. Yep. Alright, let's try again here, shall we? Yeah, a couple more in me here, I think. Sure. I think we go fetch Forest on 1, Swamp Binding on 2 is the plan. This is game 1, so I'm not going to fetch the forest just yet. Don't want to give away exactly what we're playing or give them extra information. Huh? This takes a second to get set up, so I think I do this. If this resolves, it guaranteed gets me the Fabled Passage back on 4, which means I can tip my land drop, which is nice. So mills both players for 3. Then we get to exile 2 cards from their graveyard. Blue-white control, okay. I'm actually interested to see how this feels, because the counterspell-based matchups, traditionally speaking, for Jeskai players tend to be hard, but this deck gets to play both discard spells and the can't-be-countered green cards, which seems like it could change that dynamic for us, potentially. The escape cards letting us get value out of our single threats even after they get counterspelled also is potentially very good here. We give Polyk a nickname? I mean, isn't Polyk technically a nickname? Very deliberate play from the opponent. You're not wrong. I think I just bottomed that. Looking for my heavier hitters here, I think. They gonna bounce this before it gives us a land? How about Django? Cause he's Unchained. That's a pretty good one. I'll give you that one. This is the part where I cast 2 spells and then their Teferi plus their card in hand bounce my 2 spells. Is that what about to happen? The good news is if they sit here and bounce Hydra over and over again, we get to watch his animation a whole bunch. And his animation, like most of them, are top notch. I don't know yet. Sample size is small. I haven't felt like it's a strictly worse version yet, but I don't know that what we're doing feels better necessarily, if that makes sense. So like the Mardu build we played yesterday, after a little bit, it was like, oh, this is kind of just bad. Like we're not doing anything meaningful. The good things this is doing are different enough from Jeskai that it might be okay. Hard to know for sure. Hey, Mogwai, thanks for the host. Hope you had a great stream today. Welcome to Mogwai's viewers of Hoaglandia. We're hanging out playing some Jund Fires here this evening. That's perfect. Looking to drop Polyk back down here again. Got 6 cards in my bin, thanks to Binding getting us set up a little bit. One of these days, you'll learn to not tell the opponent exactly what to do. You know, honestly, one of the things that's kind of interesting commentary on that is that the fact that I'm able to so accurately call out what they should do so often when we see their cards really kind of shows how little choice there is in optimal decisions a lot of the time. Like, the right choice turn to turn tends to be pretty scripted a lot of the time. You have any sites or podcasts I recommend for understanding of the U.S. current political climate? I watch a couple of daily shows, which make light of some of the nonsense things that happen around the world. Trevor Noah on Comedy Central is one that I enjoy. Stephen Colbert is another. Cody Johnson's actually what I listen to too with some more news. He's not every day though. What's his name? John Oliver is fantastic. We don't deserve the treasure that is John Oliver. Yeah, do I just play second fires? I kind of don't want to play into time wipe here, huh? I'm going to draw with this now because I could draw an Agonizing Remorse. Angry Penguin, thank you for the 9 months of support. I appreciate that. Welcome. Could also draw that. Could also draw that. Now, there is some merit to keeping the second fires in my hand because I could bid it to Cavalier and then use it as food for the Unchained later. However, it's worth noting that having the second fires in play makes their mill spells potentially worse, which is valuable. I was surprised how much I enjoyed Trevor Noah. His first season after Jon Stewart was rough, but he grew into those shoes. Yeah, I'm not familiar with I don't think I watched when Jon Stewart was still there. So this flipped over a Cavalier here, so that's great. So if we make it through 2 more turns without this getting bounced, we're going to get to pick that back up and get to go double Cav, which is great. Absorb got milled by Binding of the Titans. So for those that missed it, Green got the ability to mill either their opponents as well. Do I discard this backup Polukranos? Do I just click 0 here? I think I just submit 0. Maybe, you know what? I should have drawn with Castle. I should have drawn with Castle there is what I should have done. That was the line. I should have drawn with Castle, because if Castle drew a blank, I could have discarded the blank. And now I'm going to go ahead and draw with Castle now, because I can hit Agonizing Remorse just like last turn. Yeah, that should have been a land that I discarded. That's what I should have done. Worth noting that that's a mistake. So I could have a land in my bin, which is relevant to this dice trigger, and I could be 1 card deeper into my deck. Vomit. Well then. I don't have quad red. I'm short a red land. If I would have played this last turn, I could have played this and then killed them. It's unfortunate. The good news is they have to just bounce this Cavalier because if they kill it, they die. Howdy, Revelry. I already played a land, Wee McGee. I drew the Fabled Passage off its comes into play trigger, Wee McGee. They're a blue-white control player, Justin. Of course they're really slow. So they're dead? Not quite. They're dead if I take Essence Capture, right? Because now they can't counterspell Polukranos and make a blocker. They can't do both. If they spend 3 mana, they can't castle. As long as there's a basic in my deck. I hope there's a basic in my deck. Oh, yeah, that's true. I should have played my land first, huh? They could have drawn a bounce spell here. If they drew a bounce spell in response to my fetch, they could have got me. Crunch, crunch. Our owl is so excited. I'm excited too, little owl. Killing blue-white control players gives me life. That's what I wake up for in the morning. All right, so Shifting, Destiny Spinner. Is this a trophy matchup? I feel like it's probably a trophy matchup. Maybe it's not. Because the Cavalier trigger would have killed them. Would I rather have Trophy or Brontodon here? It might be Brontodon just because it's a threat. What do you think of this? Kind of like it. I think I'm into it. All creatures and enchantments. Let's do it. Gosh, there's still 2,800 people here. The next deck in the deck queue is actually white aggro. I think we'll do one more after this. I'll put white aggro in the stream title. Play this one for like one more match after this. Think I can end the day smorking. If there was like a control deck as the next one, I don't think I'm currently capable of doing that. But I think I'm very capable of doing a Johnny's Pride Mate Heliod Math currently. I think that one. I think I'm functional enough for that. I am definitely not currently capable of playing the Vanafear deck again. I'm going to YOLO this on the draw. We have 27 lands. All of these threats are good. Let's go. Hey, thanks for the 5 months, Metsu. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Have a good one, ER Funk. Cards, I'm excited to try and Pioneer. Yeah, the Escape Phoenix sounds really good in the what's it called deck. Swish. The Escape Phoenix sounds great in the Eldrazi deck. And we played Heliod Ballista combo this morning as the first deck of the day. It was good. Apostle of Purifying Light. Sure. Okay, is this a reason to leave? Maybe I should leave Bonecrusher in my deck as a way to kill this and Brazen Borrower. I could see that. Yeah, hey, Magic Online is the premier play client for Magic the Gathering digitally. It releases the same day as Magic Arena. Can't pro black, so can't kill that with Rider, unfortunately. Feels bad. Here goes nothing. Yep, yeah, we're going back to doing Pioneer to start every stream. So we did a Pioneer deck to start today. We'll do a Pioneer deck a Pioneer deck or two at the start of every stream. Beginning tomorrow as well. I'm taking Tuesday off this week, so I haven't posted my schedule for the week yet. But I do intend to take Tuesday off since I stream Saturday, Sunday this weekend. Let's end her. Aren't there still a ton of Pioneer decks without TBD cards in the queue? Sure, but non-rotating formats like Pioneer with deep card pools, the bigger the card pool, the less a set release will have impact upon them. So like, if I load up a deck and there's a very obvious Theros card that's a great upgrade to the deck, I'll add that in before I get the cards for it. But by and large, formats like Modern, Pioneer, Legacy, it's much harder for these formats to have a heavier impact. Which is actually why War and ELD in 2019 Magic was such a big deal for those formats too, is those sets had a huge impact on those older formats. Hey, thanks for the tip, Brad. I appreciate it. Hey, will do. So Destiny Spinner here says this can't be countered, so that's great. Cavalier hopefully going to find us a red source here. I believe I said 10 to matter, because you're right, there are very critical exceptions to that rule. I tend to try and do my best to not speak in absolutes. I am not a Sith. Feel like we're in an okay spot here. If they sweep the board, I get a Fires out of my bin. I suppose they could sweep and then still have a counterspell. Produce your lightsaber. I don't understand this fandom. Somebody send help. Do Sith have special lightsabers? Jacob actually asked to watch a Star Wars movie the other day, and I was like, I watched part of one that I'd never seen before.
Let's slow this down.
No, I just know the memes. Hip to the memes, chat. I live in the meme culture. All right, so we'll lead on this. This will get us an untapped land. We'll Agonizing Remorse them. Hey, we Cavaliered into Polukranos. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Oh, the Purifying Light's gonna get Poly K. That's sad. I forgot about their card in play. Maximus sad. It's cost 2 mana though, right? Sure, it's gonna cost them 4 mana to do that. And I have enough mana to play Cavalier of Flames and activate it next turn, which is great. They killed my boy. That's rude. I think I'm gonna rebuy Polyk here. Just keep my threat density high. Huh. So if I take Chemister's Insight here, it exiles it, right? This is on 1. I kind of think I'm supposed to take their card that impacts the board, though. Like, all of these cards just find them more cards. Teferi impacts the board. I'm so dumb. We were looking at their graveyard. It's been a long day. It's been... God, this interface is poop. Please, for the love of God, default to the hand. It's so rancid. Why would it default to showing me the discard pile? It's not how this effect ever is rarely going to be used that way. Imagine if you cast that in paper and your opponent fanned out their yard. Does the text read graveyard first? Reveals their hand? No. I think I'm just supposed to do this. It's a little bit less aggressive, so maybe it's wrong. Destiny Spinner just letting us ignore all their counterspells has been kind of superb. Just like, ain't nobody got time for that. Looking for a castle eventually. Temple of Abandon, sure. Get my scry on. We've not played with the champion yet. They're trying to race me? Yeah, maybe. I have this Murderous Rider in exile. Oh, I forgot I had Rider in exile. If I would have taken Fabled Passage or Tomb here, I could have played this. Yeah, that's actually a mistake. It was way over here in like the 3rd zone I could cast spells from, so I'd kind of forgotten it. Rather than take the scry there, I should have taken Fabled Passage, grabbed a swamp, and then played Murderous Rider. 10 out of 10. That is definitely what I should have done. Gadwick's pretty good at racing. I guess if I get Brazen Borrowed here, I'm pretty sad. Yeah, maybe this is wrong. They get to tap my thing too. Are they just gonna race us? God, their pace of play has been so glacial. They have 13 minutes left on their clock. I have 22 on mine. It's been rough. They might just tempo us out here. The fact that I didn't play that Murderous Rider out's a huge deal. Yeah, I probably should have just attacked for 5 and passed, and then, like, used Poly K on their turn after they blinked. Okay, their counter spells are live. Feel kind of dead. I guess Shifting Ceratops could maybe mean we're okay here. They have Castle sitting over here too, though. Yeah, I feel like I mismanaged my resources this game. Both not recognizing the Murderous Rider and perhaps in some of my sequencing as well. It might be right to just attack with this, because they're going to like Chemist's Insight and tap my stuff anyways. Oh yeah, I'm just dead. Borrower kills it. Borrower kills us. My timing on the Polukranos attack was also bad too. Yeah, I felt like that was my game to lose and I lost it. I'll split the difference on these. They were gonna tap my rider, and I block one of their things, and I take 5. All right, let's get game 3 on the play here, huh? You're being dumb, Justin. They had 3 threats, any 2 of which were lethal. I had 1 blocker. Being if your combo is fun, sideboarding is hard. When in doubt, sideboard less. Yeah, they had Chemist's Insight in their graveyard, actually. So they had a guaranteed blue spell to tap my other thing. I think I bottom Cavalier here and hope to go Remorse, Brontodon, Ceratops if we draw a green. What do I press now again? Blade Kaitan. Thanks for the 5 months. Welcome back. So hoping for a green shock next turn. I'm gonna try and punk them. White Swords. Never try and punk them, chat. Never try and punk them. I mean, the good news is we drew well afterwards, too, so we got that going for us. We draw a land next turn, we get to go Cavalier plus Ceratops. Get to just get going. Don't have anything that decree takes. Yeah, hopefully early Ceratops. If they don't draw a sweeper right away, early Ceratops should be able to run the distance, which is great. If they draw a way to destroy fires here, we're in a real bad spot, because I don't have any more green mana. Perfect. Polukranos is perfect to throw into the bin here. You'd love to draw a castle. Passage is actually great too, because it's a land that... What are the best performing decks of the new format, Ben? The 2 Devotion decks, Bob, are the 2 new ones that are reasonable. Both Black and White Devotion have been fine. We're actually going to play the White Devotion as the last deck today again, so we'll see if that continues to feel good or not. So I've got 5 cards in here. You need 7 because Polukranos doesn't exile himself. So we need to put 2 more cards in our bin. Fabled Passage is one of those cards. I added it a little bit ago because we still have a good viewer count and I'm feeling okay to keep going. I'm gonna wait on what I fetch with this Fabled Passage for now, because if they kill fires, whether or not I want a 3rd red or a 3rd green will depend on what I draw. If they put something in my bin, I might pull the trigger on this sooner rather than later so we can Polukranos. Yeah, okay, so like this changes the dynamic. So now we're going to be fetching next turn because that's card 6. So this will be card 7 so we can escape the Polukranos next turn. 24-hour streams are bad content, so as good as the absurd viewer count is right now, I will not be doing 24. 12's about my limit, which is about what we're going to bump into. Poly K dies next turn. Yeah, but it makes them use their mana, right? So I think I'm supposed to escape him because then they're doing it to him instead of doing it to someone else. Bonecrusher Poly K dies, so Bonecrusher gets to live. We cannot escape and fight. Escaping costs, or fighting costs 3. I only have 7, and it costs 6 to escape him. If they have Time Wipe, we're probably just dead. If they don't have Time Wipe, we're potentially in an okay spot here. Now, Giant Killer does get to diddle my Cavalier of Thorns here, which is annoying. I have not played against any Nick Slowdays. I've seen some other streamers working on it, but not played with it or against it myself yet. So, if they Giant Killer the Cavalier and then don't chump the Brontodon, the Bonecrusher kills them, which is great. And if they do chump, the Bonecrusher kills the Giant Killer, which is nice. Okay. Opponent has sub 9 minutes left on their clock. The warning just came up. That's one that could show promise, I think. The Calyx Brew. It's just tough because, like, if people really want to beat enchantments, they can beat enchantments. Put it tuning into the stream, something like that. If they time wipe, my Cavalier of Thorns can put Bonecrusher back on top of my deck, so might as well do this. It does have a lot of lines. I agree that it was an incredibly satisfying deck to play. So if they have 2 blue spells here, they cannot be dead. Chemist's Insight is 1, and they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mana. Borrower is just so good with Gadwick. It's kind of unreal. It just gives them 2 spells to diddle our team with. Really needed to draw a threat here that could have haste. Still just can't beat, like, Gadwick is such a tough squeeze with Time Wipe because Time Wipe picks Gadwick back up, but I have to put more threats into play so the Gadwick doesn't just tempo me out of attacking every turn. So, like, I have to recommit this threat and feel bad about it, but I'm just kind of like hoping for the best here.
Show remorse.
Don't plus him, don't plus him, don't plus him. Okay.
No, I am not making
If they plussed him there, it meant they had the Time Wipe. We have exactly 2 Bonecrushers left in our deck, I believe. Yeah, exactly 2. So, do they have a second cheap blue spell? If they don't have a second cheap blue spell, they have to trade Gadwick with my Bonecrusher. So, we've got that going for us. So, they're not dead because they have Brazen Borrower guaranteed. So, they can play Borrower, diddle my Cavalier. The question is, do they have something else to diddle Bonecrusher as well, or are they forced to trade Gadwick off? Looks like they're forced to trade Gadwick off. Holding lands here again because both Ox and Cavalier reward me for holding lands. They could have another Gadwick potentially, that's true. At this point, my decisions are all scripted, so we're just like putting our cards out and hoping they're good enough. Because Borrower can't trade Waffle, it can't block things that don't have flying. You're missing the text box on this card. Down to 16. Did your Time Wipe? Then get absorbed here. Feel real bad. Right, and I mean, we're still in it to win it, right? We hit an Ox or a Cavalier we can maybe keep playing. Or we hit a green Cavalier into hit a green Cavalier into an escape card. Oh, I guess the escape card's not very good in the face of Apostle. Ceratops, yeah, Ceratops is great. We got 2 of those. Destiny Spinner, assuming they're on a counter spells, gives us a haste threat, basically. Do we want to play 1 red land to allow the Cav to haste? Well, I have fires, so and like if they destroy fires, I can shock in a land. The 2 life is not likely to matter. Now, worth noting, if I would have played a land out here, I could have animated 2 lands and attacked this turn, which could be relevant, but I think it's right to hold these. Maybe it's right to play one this turn so I can play the other next turn and double activate. They just double scry twice. Well, they just put 4 cards on the bottom, so how lucky am I? Hopefully the answer is very. Cavalier, please. Ox, please. Well, I mean, sure. Sick. They have 4 minutes left on their clock. I have 17 minutes left on mine. Hitting castle here is huge. Now, Cavalier of Thorns can't get back anything useful because of this Apostle of Purifying Light if they kill it. It's possible this deck wants a 3rd black castle. I think with 3 black castles and your discard spells and stuff, this deck might actually have an okay control matchup. We've not seen a single Trawler out of them, which these games have been long, so I wonder if they're playing them. I probably should have drawn in response to this trigger. Anyone? Bueller? Anyone? Are we done here? They appear to be dead. They're going to lose the clock here in a second, too. 2.5 minutes. Even if we hadn't peeled lethal here, they would have lost. Wow, they had a disenchant and they didn't play it. Listen, they've made me wait. Are they salting off? Are they actually just like salting off here? Good. I mean, at least we only have to wait 2 minutes, right? Like they've made us wait 28 minutes. Watch 2 more minutes down here in the salt mines. Watch 2 more minutes down here in the salt mines, you know?
Down here, salt is a way of life.
Obviously, the environment down here is all salt. The ceiling's salt, the floor is salt, the walls are salt, and to an extent, the air is salt. And you breathe that in, and you can constantly taste the salt.
Down here.
If you don't have that video bookmarked, I don't know what you're doing with yourself, really. It's good reminder. Listen, chat, games are played for fun, Don't let the fact that your bad control deck got punked out by your Sweet Fires deck drive you off the edge. This match must be very important to them. Listen, normally I leave when people do this, but they made me wait 28 minutes. We are winning this game. They took flipping forever. I'm not giving it to them at the end. Favorite non-Magic game? This is a tweet with a bunch of my favorite board games in it.
Don't make your life garbage time. Join us in Hoaglandia today by subscribing to Jeff Hoagland with Twitch Prime today.
But the card's good. It's one of the better new card games that's come out in recent memory. So this, I feel like, unlike the build we played the other night, that this kind of had some unique things going to it. I feel like this could possibly be worth exploring some more. The combination of discard spells, Destiny Spinner, and Ceratops really made me feel like I think we honestly could have won that last match 3-0. I'm pretty sure I messed up that second game somewhere. Joey's a green, red, Stompy, and Pioneer. I definitely can, Milbot. Thank you for the support. We're going to be ramping back up that Pioneer schedule this week. Going to be doing a bunch of decks as always. I don't know that I really have anything I'd change after the end of this run. I feel like the couple of things I wanted to do different, we changed as we were going. Maybe one more Ox could be good. Maybe you turn the third Murderous Rider into a third Ox, just because I want a little bit more density of action. Like, definitely was hoping to draw Ox or Red Cavalier at many points in those games, and had a hard time, like, to only have so many of them to draw to. That could be something worth exploring. Based on the instant scoop of the Doom Foretold matchup and the existence of gods, what do you think of putting the spell? No, I don't think that helps the Doom Foretold matchup. I also think you don't really care about most of the gods. You just kill them through it. All of the Fires decks just don't have enough raw resources to compete with the Doom Foretold decks, and those decks are fringe enough that I think you just punt those matchups and go on with your day. So I don't think the Doom Foretold matchup is fixable. It's not something I would worry about. All right. We still have an absurd number of people here. I appreciate all the support of everybody watching all weekend. So we're going to do one more deck. I'm going to hit one last ad roll of the evening. And when we get back, I'm going to be set up to go with some white aggro. This was very good on Friday when we played. I'm excited to run it back, and hopefully it's good again. So thanks for hanging out, folks. We'll be back in just a few minutes.